But first tonight, the wholesale rorting of our childcare system. Cheats have reaped millions of taxpayer dollars for looking after kids who weren't even in the country at the time. More alarming, one training provider will even sell you qualifications with no questions asked. Here's Hendrik Gout's disturbing investigation.
It is Creative Mind Childcare Proprietary Limited in Rosewater, and if you trust your children to its care, you could be helping a criminal conspiracy. From this centre in suburban Adelaide, evidence of a nationwide scandal. It puts kids at risk, and it steals from us, costing taxpayers millions.
May I speak with Fatih Sharif, please?
Well, she's not in office as of now.
Insiders say this centre alone could have defrauded you of more than $2.2 million. Community members themselves believe the childcare system is exposed to massive taxpayer subsidised corruption.
We've seen real cases of people rorting, of child swapping instances, of money being claimed for simply offering a taxi service to and from school.
She will be around 3:30.
She being Creative Minds Fatih Sharif. We have this Commonwealth assessment of Sharif's creative mind. She charged the government and she got childcare payments for each kid on this list when, at exactly the same time, they were being looked after by somebody else. Federal Education Minister Simon Birmingham.
We have now instances where, by working with the federal police, we've taken people to court, they've had to pay big fines and they're serving jail time.
So, we went in search of Tislam Abdul Kahirat at his home in Enfield. It's where he claimed money for providing 670 hours of childcare. Maybe he isn't at home. He certainly wasn't at home when he did the alleged taxpayer-funded childcare. We have these immigration records showing he was not in Australia while he claimed the 670 hours. Then there's Dahir Bar Muhammad, who, these records show, claimed 776 hours while she was overseas.
Hello. You were overseas in 2015, weren't you? You went back over to Africa. Yes. You went back to Somalia, didn't you?
Somalia.
That's right. And when you were in Somalia, you claimed that you were looking after children here in Adelaide, and you got paid for that. But you couldn't have been looking after children in Adelaide if you were in Africa, could you?
Sorry.
How is it that you now can't speak English, but you used to be able to speak English when you did the certificate?
And your taxes paid for this list of children to be looked after in Adelaide while those very children were in Africa. But our favourite is educator Christine Abduk Rak. If she'd answered her door, we'd have asked her how much money she got taking care of 5 children throughout the week, even on the same day, we discovered, as she was actually giving birth by caesarean section. By law, government-paid childcare workers need to be properly qualified. Providers must, by law, pass dozens of exams like child health and safety, first aid. To get its educators those qualifications, Creative Mind used a registered training organisation, this one, RMTI, Right Move Training Institute, in suburban Brisbane. Dennis Okoro is an Adelaide IT professional with no childcare experience, but he's got a certificate from RMTI to prove he does. Dennis, congratulations. What do you think of getting the certificate?
I feel amazing. It's actually good. Yeah. I didn't have to do a lot of work, but I ended up getting the certificate anyway.
Our sources said RMTI was corrupt, and with Dennis's help, we proved it. Here's Dennis giving RMTI's CEO, Jamal Ahmed, a phone call.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Hi, is this Jamal?
Yep.
Oh, hello, Jamal. My name is Dennis.
Dennis tells Jamal he wants to buy a certificate in early childhood education and care.
We can send you the document and do it quickly and sign off, and then it's okay. we can do something called RPO.
RTO, a registered training organisation. This mob is fully registered with the Commonwealth, your guarantee of quality.
How much would that cost me?
Mate, if you want something to go purely, it's going to cost you a bit of money.
$1,500 actually. We stumped up the $1.5 grand for Dennis to send to RMTI. And you did no study at all?
Not at all.
None?
None.
A day or two later, Dennis gets an email, and there's his certificate. Do you think that this is a dangerous state of affairs where you can get qualifications like this just by paying money?
I believe it is, because, you know, we're dealing with infants here who need the utmost care with professionals. So I wouldn't recommend this at all. This is a very terrible practice.
Not at work? So we went to his home. It's a fairly substantial dwelling. The Right Move Training Institute must be doing fairly well. I wonder if you could ask Jamal to come on out and...
He's not home.
15,249 hours of dubious childcare. And, as we discover, Jamal's business partner in RMTI is Habsa Hajai, who runs this enterprise, the Commonwealth-registered, taxpayer-subsidised Young Star Family Daycare. She declined our invitation to chat about whether her business uses RMTI certificates. Now, supposedly with this, you are able to look after other children and get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the government will subsidise this. Taxpayers will subsidise it.
Okay.
It is completely unacceptable if there is a coordination, a collusion as such between a dodgy training provider and a dodgy childcare operator to be able to essentially defraud the taxpayer and defraud parents of that sense of well-being simultaneously.
It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Bye-bye.
Sorry.